What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wesker, and you're watching Sub Urban Nerd. This channel where I get my nerd views on today's nerd shows. Well, today's show that I'm going to be giving a review on really quick is about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode, I believe it's 3, because the first one was episode 1 and 2 together. But yeah, this was pretty much another good episode. I liked it. It had a lot of different things going on, and it had little Easter eggs here and there, mentions of this and that, and I'm sorry being vague, but one of the major things that I liked that was left off in the last episode, or the end of the last episode, was Daisy being Quake, the destroyer of worlds. They're pretty much trying to blame the way the Earth looks and destruction on Daisy, and that maybe she lost control of her powers. And as far as I'm concerned, I could understand that. Like, I don't know, she's not at that level, not right now, but who's to say that something happened and like elevated or enhanced her powers to the point where she couldn't control, and this is what happened. And my thought as far as that, because I'm very into time, space, and all that. Well, the thing that's really cool is they're introducing sort of like the multiverse. And when they mentioned that multiverse, one thing that popped in my head is like, regardless of what happens, like say these Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets back to the past by the end of the season, one thing that won't happen is I don't believe it's going to fix the situation that they're in. Because if you're dealing with the multiverse, what that means is whatever action happened, if they go back in time and fix it, this world, this universe that these people are living in still exists but branched off. Therefore, they'd be fixing what the future for the next line would be. So therefore, it's not like it's going to erase everything that happened. It's just going to make another sort of like multiverse where they're still in their situation. I know it's very confusing, but that's one of the things I think about when I watch these types of shows, or anytime they're dealing with time and traveling and all that stuff. And Daisy and I believe the guy's name is Deke, like their conversation, their banter back and forth, I like it. And at some point he's talking about, oh, this universe or that universe or this universe, which one are you talking about? And then she goes and just slaps him in his face and is like, which universe did that happen in? Yours or mine? You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of funny, and there was a lot of kind of funny moments with Daisy. But the one thing about Daisy that I've seen in the first episode and this one is she doesn't think, she doesn't plan, she just goes straight forward. And that's only because she relies so much on her abilities and her, like, her fighting skills. But mostly, if her fighting skills can't help, she's always got her powers to for the clutch. And I don't like that, because relying on too much, she doesn't think about other people. And that's why Deke is warning her, like, yo, don't go up there, man, because whatever you do, it's gonna fall back down on us. Like, yo, you need to plan it. You don't just run up there and do the things, which is kind of what in the first couple episodes when she saved them, and then she was like, yo, we need to find May. What we need to split up and go like that. And she's thinking, because she's only thinking as far as like she can handle herself, but not everybody else. You know what I'm saying? She's not thinking about the other people, and that's one major thing that I flaw that I see in Daisy in this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I'm really not liking. As far as the other cast members, Phil Coulson, he was always great, but the one standout for today, for this episode, was Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo, I've seen her powers before, but before this, like, you don't really understand how badass it is. Like, she was moving around so that it looked like her, the tracker thing in her was like fritzing, and then he took it out and looked down to go thing, and in that split second, she went and got the whatever tablet or whatever, and brought it to Quake or Daisy, handed it to that, and it was back before you even noticed it. And the same thing, like, close to the end, when they had to they took out the guy when he woke up and was like following them due to the other guy that's pretty much the owner's like slave owner in a way. She saved him by planting a gun on him, and then basically calling him out. And then when the guy saw it, he was like, yo, you're stealing from me? And forgot completely about Coulson and everybody else. Yo, didn't even care. The main fact is, dog, I trusted you and you stole from me. You're going to have to be an example. And we see what that example is. It's going on the surface of the earth, because apparently, like they said, no one can survive on this. And apparently it's because all these aliens type of things just come and just ravage you and kill you off. But the majority of the episode was dealing with Coulson, and I forget what the new girl's name is, but they're going to try and find a signal because the guy that believed in them had a little planet globe thing that had a key in it, and the key opened up this little radio, and the radio was picking up signals apparently from, like, they say it's coming from the surface of the earth, but initially it was a rock that they went to. It was bouncing off of that. So as far as this episode, I'm not sure what's building up, but you could definitely see it. One of the other major plot points was Simmons. She I guess she was brought on with the Kree, and one thing that I didn't understand is the time frame, because they brought her to help this girl, this Inhuman, control her powers. Didn't say if it was hours later or whatever later, but they gave her, sat her down in the room, and she sat with her, helped her meditate, helped her kind of, control her powers for the most part. Then he just show up and was like, all right, you better hope that you had enough time to train. I'm like, yo, how much time did she get? Was it 20 minutes? Was it half an hour? Was it a day? Like, I don't know. And it didn't make any sense. And I don't know if you guys were confused too, but I sure as hell was confused because I'm like, yo, what expectations you having when you had someone else training her for, it had to be more than a little while because, like, it had to be more than a day, but yet you think Simmons can, like, in like an hour or so, but yet somehow she did, and the girl had faith in her, and it was one of the most, it was really pretty cool, because it was brutal kind of watching this little girl get beat up by this big, warrior, but then once she realized her powers, I didn't know they were going to do it like that. Like, I give him props, like, like, they did do what I thought, but later, initially she just hardened, then the dude broke his arm, and then she stuck her hand out, and he went to her, and then he realized her hand was in there, and then she solidified, and then, ooh, just a hole in his chest. I thought on Sarusha, I thought that, when he stepped back, she was gonna have his heart in her hand, like some, Indiana Jones, Malika, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was gonna be some crazy stuff like that, but it didn't, but it still was, like, great graphic, and I'm like, this is a Disney Channel, technically, right? ABC? Like, that was pretty brutal, but I still enjoyed it, and then you find out that she was pretty much showing off so she could get sold, and I thought she was just going to be an ambassador or something like that, but that's what they made it seem like, but apparently she's sold, but hey, so be it. Other things, a little Easter egg is, when they went to the new girls, whatever, the one that's pretty much protecting them, showing them the ropes, went to her room, there was this kid named Flint. Flint is an Inhuman, but his Inhuman powers is that he can control rocks and stones and like metal and kind of like control it. Not like Magneto, but like kind of conform it, maybe put rock things. So he might be one of the things, like when they're kind of trying to create this Inhuman team or whatever, like they were trying to do with I forget the dude's name with the lightning in last season, but the way they're trying to bring some Inhumans together as a team, well, this kid might be that. Like, it was just a small glimpse, you saw him, but he is an Inhuman, and he does have power, so you probably might be seeing him later down the road. And then along with Abby, I don't know if they're gonna bring Abby back, which is a girl who could basically, kind of like Kitty, how she goes phase through things, whatever, but because that's what, like, people don't realize, that was probably one of Kitty's powers too, is in the comic book. So, like, she could go phase through things, but she could be also solid or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see her again, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what else they got coming forward, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I have no idea what's gonna happen. But except the main bad guy, I forget what his name, but the main Kree, I don't know if he's gonna be the major bad guy for the whole season, because last season I like what they did as far as they broke it up into sections, and I don't know if they're gonna do that this season, but definitely looking forward to seeing what they come up with. All the characters stood out. Max, once again, he had this thing with a girl on the ship where they were talking about, like, oh, it's either us or him, and he was like, we don't do like that. But I'm like, yo, in a dystopian world, I understand, but they worked. They were lucky. They were lucky to the fact that it worked out for them. But I don't think I would be able to be as morally, conscious as him when like that. But then at the same fact, what happens after the guy disappears? The guy knows he sent them to follow them. There's going to be repercussions. And that's what this whole thing is about, because as much as they're going to be superheroes, you got to figure this whole world, this whole universe of these humans that are very little, like they could go extinct. There's anything that happens where the Kree could just be like, yo, you guys are causing us too much trouble, you're done. And that's the human race. So I kind of like that concept. I kind of like how they keep hammering that in to us as a viewer. So that's pretty much my review of the episode 3. I liked it. Once again, it had some good action. Daisy had some funny moments. Along with that slap, she also had that moment where she was up on the elevator, and then it slid down a little, and she was like, I actually thought that was going to work. I found that funny, and then she started whipping her ass. But yeah, everybody kind of had their moments to stand out. Mac, not too much. Yo-Yo definitely was number 1 for me. And then Deke at the end, when Daisy Quig makes it into the Blues upper level, and she gets smoked out, and he was like, sorry, honey, playing a long game. I don't think that means he's a bad guy, but he did warn her. He did help her, and did help the other people the first episode. So I don't believe he's going to be a bad guy like that. But when you're trying to tell someone, don't be rash, you're gonna pretty much mess it up for everybody, fuck it up for everybody. You need to kind of listen. And she's just being stubborn, and he had to just do what's gonna be best for him. You know what I'm saying? He helped them as much as he could, and she's definitely not trying to listen. So everyone's got to survive on their own. So I think he's definitely gonna be a major player down the season, and he's going to be a good guy. I can see him as a good guy. They play him as an asshole, but I believe he's a good guy. So that's pretty much my review. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to tag, share. Any questions you want me to talk about something else, just put it down below. Remember to subscribe, to check out my other reviews of this episode and other episodes. Check out my playlist of other shows that I do reviews on. And remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Suburban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next review. Thank you.